With several singles on the top global Spotify playlist, we're today talking about a very special artist called Blackpink. They are kind of taking over Spotify.
Yes. Kicking out all the competition that there might be, they are using a very specific formula that we recognize from the 2000s.
Yeah, it did have some similarities with that. Very interesting. We're gonna get to that.
As we were sailing Spotify through all the playlists and catching single after single in our fishing net, we would tend to see there was one artist that kept popping up single after single after single.
And we're also gonna give them our ranking, as we kind of do on the show.
Yeah, we're gonna rank them on structure, lyrics, and sexiness on their track.
Sexiness is gonna be like a complete bomb field to go through.
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. We're gonna review their track Shutdown on lyrics, sexiness, and structure. Let's look at the information we have on them here.
Let's dive into it.
Yeah, they debuted back in 2016 with their single album Square One. The single album Square One, which featured songs as Whistle and Boombayah.
For real?
Boombayah.
Is that the name?
I think so. Like that's how I would pronounce it, like Boombayah.
That's a cool name. For music who doesn't at all sound like
anything.
It should be called Boombayah.
Since their debut, they have continued to surpass all the charts, broken several records as a female group, and made headlines everywhere.
And right now they have, I think we counted 5?
I think we counted 6 tracks.
Six tracks
on the Spotify global songs.
Yeah. They have a number 1 and a number 4 and
14, 25, like
something like that.
They're not just king of the hill. They're king of all the hills.
Kenio, queens
of all the hills.
Queens of all the
yes.
2022.
Here we go. Their songs consist of a mix between Korean and English.
Yeah.
Taking on their top chart singles Shutdown, you listen to the track.
I did listen to it.
Yeah.
And I kind of just accidentally like put their, I went to their Spotify and their top 5 most, listened songs and I just hit play. Just let it run. I did find,
and I didn't see him for several hours. He was just gone.
I did find that when you're running around, maybe you're cleaning a bit and stuff like that, and that it was actually difficult for me to just recognize when it was like a new track. I'm not saying it's too recognizable, is that the word I'm looking for? Well,
yeah.
I'm not saying they're like doing the same thing over and over again. They have a genre, but to some extent, I kind of had troubles, distinguishing the
one track from another. Yeah,
yeah.
I had the same issue when I dove into the Blackpink bucket.
But they did take like something they're good at and they capitalized on it and make a lot of good tracks. A lot of other bands have done this. Like, I'm sorry, but Linkin Park. I mean,
you took a cheap shot there. He's just instantly looking at me for once and saying, "Well, Linkin Park sucks."
AC/DC. Everybody says they make the same track again and again and again, and they did, and I love it. So, like, I'm not gonna go too hard on them for doing that. But it's a very popular genre. Yeah. They did it very, very good, executed like perfectly. So well done. Good music.
It's saying when we're saying they took a distinct formula that we recognize from the early 2000s, we were of course talking about Spice Girls. Yes, and for anyone who can't see that, look again. Yeah. Because there are way too many similarities going on here.
It's not their genre of music per se. Stuff like that has moved on.
Yeah,
of course. This is a pretty different way of making music, but it was interesting to see how, even with their clothes, we were talking about
how similar it is.
They actually look like Spice Girls.
Yeah, they do.
Same idea. How they kind of distinguish like who looks like what,
and how their videos are made, and how their dance performance. Of course. Things have evolved through time.
Of course.
It's like one of those movies where this younger, more hip group is gonna show the old timers how it's done. It just feels like that while looking at it.
It's just the same formula.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's a different genre, but it's still the same formula. They even had the female rapper.
Yeah.
And she even had like the same style as Spice Girls rapper.
Yes.
I think it was Victoria who rapped on Wannabe, but I'm actually not quite sure now. But it's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah,
it's pretty damn close.
It was like getting that type of flashback moment, like when we look through their videos and like, hold on, wait a minute.
I even noticed I think I told you, like, I noticed in some of their music videos for a lot of their other songs too, that they did that thing where 2 of them have pants on and the other 3 don't.
The 3 don't, yeah.
And for some reason, Spice Girls are doing the same thing. There are always 1 or 2 with pants and 2 and 3 without. And
yes.
I don't know why that's a thing, but it is.
But then again, like Blackpink are 4 members and they're consisting of, I'm probably going to butcher these names, Jisoo, Jennie, Rosé, like the wine, and Lisa.
I'm pretty sure it's not rosé like the wine, but maybe
Rose.
Rose? I don't know.
Rosé.
I actually don't know. I don't know. Do you think it's their artist names or like their actual names? Or
I have a feeling that this is their actual names.
Yeah, not to be like stereotypical in any way, but some of them doesn't sound particularly Korean names. But I don't know how that actually works over there.
But then again, mine doesn't sound particularly Swedish either.
No, and we also have like English names here. People are giving them the kids names that are not like particularly Danish.
Yeah, exactly. So the trend is moving on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The transition, it's that perfect.
We're just happy we get to talk about Spice Girls.
Yes, finally.
We were not allowed to like them when we were young, so we're doing it now.
So now we're grown-up men who love Spice Girls.
I love Spice Girls, to be fair. Like, I think that's actually why it's so brilliant that they're kind of doing that thing, because it was a good way.
But we can't just slam a Spice Girl mark on Blackpink without saying that of course other girl groups have done the same thing.
Of course.
But what we're saying is that Blackpink is doing it perfectly.
Yeah.
They're taking the exact same formula and being like, well, why change it? Other girl groups out there has tried to take the formula, change it, make it their own thing, and of course it has worked for some of the way.
Yeah, of course.
But they didn't hit the Spotify global playlist with 5 or 6 songs.
Yeah.
That's insane. How well it works.
It really does, and it just goes to show that, not that I'm saying that artists shouldn't or like we don't need to like improve or do something new and better, but it also just still shows that a lot of the same theories, the same way of selling it, the same formula, it just still works. You can take almost any genre and look at it, and you can like boil it down to pretty much the same 4 steps.
Yes.
So it kind of works, and I like that they just, it works. It's just good.
And from like a manager's perspective, like asking why does it work? Imagine people in marketing back then in the early 2000s, before the internet even existed, they had to sell this type of girl group worldwide to the extent of people getting addicted to it. Imagine the same type of strategies and the same type of research and expand it on social media and watch the world explode. So that's why it works. Why change something that is done to perfection and have this arrogant idea that no, we're gonna do it our way because that's gonna work better for some reason. Just don't do that.
I think there's an important lesson to be had, that it's okay to be special, it's okay to be different, it's okay to want to do it in your way if it makes you happy, but there's also a formula that will make you rich.
There's also a different formula. It's called subscribe to this YouTube channel. Press the red button down below. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
When you heard this track and you were looking at the video and you kind of agreed instantly that this is Spice Girls in 2022.
Yeah, Spice Girls revamped.
Yeah.
It's not fair to say that, but it's because their music is so different still, but it kind of just still have that, We listened to Shut Up, right?
Shut Down.
Shut Down, sorry, Shut Down.
Shut Up and Shut Down, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. And I like the song. I like the whole setup. I like the music video. That was like
I love the energy of the track.
Yeah, I love the energy. It was just a very good track. Did I like the lyric? Because that's just, this is gonna go from like being like a personal preference to get a little bit political and a little bit of everything, and
let's be honest, it's a flex track.
There's not really any substance to the.
There's no history. There's no story being told. There's no political message. There's no love in it. There's just, we are awesome. We earn money and we drive Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
Yo.
And that's just so cool. There's nothing wrong with doing it. I don't particularly like it. I think it has just like the exact same annoying vibe that pretty much every other rapper kind of like have
but then
a
again,
lot of times.
It's why is it acceptable for them to do it? Because they're having a rapper doing it.
Yeah, I think that's...
They have a rapper delivering that message, so they're kind of, again, taking the hip-hop culture, smashing it into Spice Girls, and being like, well, we can do it because... But the Spice Girls did the same thing.
They did.
They did the same thing over and over again, and it works. But
I don't like
it's a flex track.
I just think it's
sad for me to see that the number one single on Spotify Global is a flex track.
It does kind of hurt me too, because the track is amazing. But I have to be honest about what I think about the lyrics. I'm just so bored by the same, I got this weird thing on my teeth made of gold, and everything is gold, and I got hose in my car, and I got a hose on this, everywhere, and it's just the same thing again
and again. Chardonnay in my Lamborghini.
I'm tired of it when they do it, as when a lot of other people do it. It's the same thing that Nicki Minaj has done, and
oh dear God, I can't keep track of all these.
Anyways, those amazing musicians. We're not we're not bashing on the musicians, because they make amazing music, but these particular tracks where they just keep talking about how rich they are, how wealthy they are, how many hoes they have, how many men, or whatever it is, it's just boring. It's been done.
It's been done several times, so there's I know we're bashing the lyrics hard. You have to keep in mind, we found the track, we listened to it, we loved it, ergo we're of course reviewing it. We just got a little bit disappointed when we looked for the lyrics, because I was hoping for some deeper connections, because it's half South Korean and half English, so we could only sadly read what's going on in the English part. But taking that into out of context and be like, well, it's a flex track. Even though it's a flex track, it's a good one. It's a good one, but it's in a women's perspective. Usually when we hear flex tracks from hip hop, it's usually from male rappers.
And it's just annoying.
About hoes.
Yeah, but it's just annoying.
Yeah, it's still annoying. It's still annoying.
It's always been boring.
But I do agree that it's creative. It's a creative flex track.
It's just the thing everybody does, and I don't know, it kind of just hurt me at this point, because like, I don't know, I'm bored by it.
And people be like,
but Kenio, you do flex track too.
I was just about to say you did one yourself.
And I have done several flex tracks, and you know what? It works.
It does.
It works, but it's still, I know from a listener's perspective, it's that, it's awesome a few times, and then it's gone, because if we look at statistics, even my own statistics, we can see that the songs that people return to are the ones where you have an emotional connection with the track.
So why don't you just make more emotional tracks?
That's a whole
other subject.
I do think it's important to point out that just because, like, I'm saying I hate these kind of flex tracks, when anybody does it. It doesn't matter who do it. It's annoying.
Yeah,
sorry. That doesn't mean that it's true. Please remember that what we're saying here are completely subjective, and everybody are allowed to do this. I really, really thoroughly believe that you should make flex tracks, and you should talk about your money and your whatever, your cars and stuff like that, if that's what you want to make music. It's art, it's music. My opinion doesn't really matter, but now we just have a YouTube channel where we talk about our opinions.
For some people out there, flex tracks can be very motivating.
Absolutely.
It can be, especially from an artist's perspective, also very empowering and motivating for them to create these flex tracks and have this feel-good vibe about themselves. And if they can pass it on to you as a listener, that's 2 thumbs up from me, definitely.
To be fair, I would never complain about the flex tracks like Eminem made.
No, he did several albums of just flex tracks, and it works. So it's but then again, what kind of tracks took off from him? Mockingbird, Soldiers.
Good one. Oh, Toy Soldiers.
Toy Soldiers, yeah. Like that. Should I go on?
Stan, the whole Stan.
Yeah, Stan.
Oh my God, I can't even hear it without crying.
Exactly, that's the emotional tracks that people return to.
Lyrics aside, that we hate the lyrics. Put that aside.
So we already know what kind of stars we're gonna give the lyrics, huh?
There are one thing that I actually think is a redeeming factor with the lyrics, and that's the Korean part. In Denmark, at least, it's not the most normal thing to hear. We hear English and Danish.
Yeah.
If you sing in Swedish or Norway,
or unless
Norwegian,
it's
even though it's
German,
close to our own language, you can right off. We don't want to hear it. If you sing on German and you're not Rammstein,
go away.
So we don't have a lot of
even Helmut Lotte his canceling shows here.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of multicultural language and stuff like that in music here. So I like that this track has even been played on Danish radio, and it includes something as special as it is to hear Korean in Denmark.
So would you categorize this as K-pop?
Oh, do you want us to get cancelled? I don't know. K-pop. I mean, it's pop from Korea, so.
But Cold Rain is metal from Korea.
Shut up.
So, and I'm like,
no.
I would say no.
K-pop is like this very.
This is beyond K-pop. Putting it in a K-pop box would kind of be.
It's more international. I would agree.
Like they're too international for just being K-pop.
Because K-pop, even though like, all right, what does K-pop stand for? Well, it's pop from Korea, but it's also not just that. It feels more like a genre.
It's like saying
it's not just that a Korean person makes pop.
Yeah, it's like we've done Cold Rain a few times here on the channel, and if you want to check that out, click the card. But it would be like saying Cold Rain is K-metal.
Yeah.
Just no.
But I think
they're too international for that.
The thing I have with these people in K-pop and what that is, I don't know if you heard like Eurovision pop. Yeah, that's a thing people will say. Like this is a classic Eurovision song. And
no.
People always you turn to ABBA.
Yeah.
And that kind of song. But even in today's standard, like modern pop, it's like the pop being played in Eurovision is kind of like its own kind of pop. It's very it's a different thing, and I think that's this like the same with K-pop. It's pop, but a pretty specific, different kind of thing they do over there.
Yeah.
That's very popular, and I actually don't think they fit the bill.
No,
it's more international Rihanna kind of style, Is she even popular? I don't know.
I don't know. Where did she even go? It's more a meme on this channel to say Rihanna and everything.
Yeah, that was what we listened to the last time we were pop guys. So I don't know.
Anyways, let's move into the structure, lyrics, and the sexiness over here. Let's start out with the structure of the track. I would say it's the classic, again, Spice Girls formula.
Yeah.
And I really love that formula because even though it has of course a typical beat in the background. Mm-hmm. I would say the build-up is very creative and is keeping true to that old-time 2000 formula.
The including of the Korean language, which I hope it is. We just know they're from Korea, so it could have been everything.
So
but we don't know, I hope it's Korean.
Instinct tells us it's Korean.
But the including of the Korean language here and there, and still have like you don't even like bothered by not understanding it.
No, you don't really.
It's cool. It's a cool thing.
You'll notice that your ear is saying, okay, there's a language here I don't really understand, but it's not ruining it for me.
And the way they have implemented that, the right places, and still kept it, in a way that everybody in the world can enjoy it.
Apparently made it rhyme with English words.
Yeah, that's kind of cool too.
That's creative too.
So that's also a thing where the structure is like really, it works.
Yeah.
The way they did it,
just works.
Set it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm straight on just for 5.
Yeah, 5 on the structure for me as well. Here we go. That moves us on to the lyrics.
Like, people are gonna hate us for this.
Yeah, I don't even want to say.
I just feel like I need to say that this has nothing to do with any like popular thing, or it's because they are a girl band or anything. It's just I really hate that kind of tracks. I hate it from anyone. I hate it when Limp Bizkit do it. I hate it when Tupac do it. I'm really modern. Like you can just hear him up there with
his grandpa in this in the studio.
I just hate these kind of tracks. I've always hated that. Look how many money I have. Like, go away.
Yes, because I don't have them.
Just f*** off. I don't care.
Stop throwing it in my face.
I'm not. I'm just so bored by it. So I gotta just be very rough and go like straight down to 0. I just hate the lyrics.
We mentioned in our structure part that they made the creative part of putting Korean in and made it rhyme with English words. And
0 is
so 0 would be very harsh, and I would go as far to make it 2 stars.
Yeah, I would also go 2 or 3 just because
of the creativeness.
And because the way they sing it, the whole way of presenting it, even though we can say, okay, I don't like the words, I don't like what they have written, but the way they present the lyrics, damn cool.
Yeah, but
they're so talented singers and rappers. So
it's still creative lyrics, but who is it for? Like, who are you singing it to?
Yeah.
Like, who are you trying to catch with these lyrics? I know that Blackpink has a humongous fan base. Welcome to the channel, by the way. Please,
and bye-bye.
And And
you again another time.
If you have anything to say, please say it down in the comment section. But yeah, I would say 2 stars in the lyrics.
I'm fine with the 2. Like especially like rough with them for this lyrics, but it's just so in your face with the type of song we don't like in general. So
let's move on to the thing that white male shouldn't talk about: sexiness.
Shut the minefield.
The sexiness of the track.
We are, of course, talking about the overall feeling of the whole track, the way it's presented, and how well we like it. Because even though we can be very hard on structure or sexiness and stuff like that, the overall feel of the song can still just be a 5 because we love it, even though they screw everything up.
Yeah,
and that's actually where I am.
You were at the party giving 5 stars to the sexiness.
Yeah, I love it. It's just a cool damn song. I didn't even listen to the lyrics. If I hadn't looked up the lyrics, I wouldn't have given a damn.
Exactly, because it was so well presented, and they're using such a tasteful formula that we recognize. Yeah. We're white males in our 30s, and we listen to this track. We're like, oh, this is good. This is slapping.
We're from the 90s.
Yeah, it's still slapping. It's taking a nostalgia and throw it in my face in a new, evolved vibe.
It's completely just a personal opinion with the whole track, and it's a subjective thing. I just hate the lyrics. But if I had never looked at the lyrics and just looked at the music video once in a while and listened to the track, I wouldn't have given a damn. I would just go, that's freaking cool, 5 all the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Be done with it. But because I read the lyrics and then saw them. The music video, that just kind of like got this whole thing going where I just don't like that kind of song. But overall, it's amazing. It's a cool song.
And
it's a fresh,
even though I barely understood 2/3 of what's going on, the chorus still got stuck in my head. So they managed to actually do something that got catchy. And of course, they're on the number 1 on the top global, and number 4 and number, of course, 15 and 20 and 25. And
I do think there's something magical about I just said they were a little bit generic in the way they wrote music when I listened to like number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 on their Spotify. But I actually also think that's a little bit of a good thing here.
Yeah.
Because I just put them on and then I don't even realize the cool music has stopped. It's just cool music, and I'm just, running around and vacuuming.
They are staying true to
cool.
They're really staying true to what this formula is all about.
Am I gonna say it's good cleaning music? Yeah, I think I am. It's good cleaning music.
Cleaning.
Yeah, it has that energy.
The cleaning genre.
Yeah. There's some dish that needs to be right now. So I need to have.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening into the review of Blackpink. If you want to check out our review of Cold Rain, check out the video down below, and remember to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.